Here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, the cars have rolled off and we are just moments away from the start of the Ford 400 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season finale. This broadcast is available in Spanish by activating your SAP button presented by ESPN Deportes. As today's starting grid is being revealed to you across the top of your screen, let's revisit some of the key storylines we'll be following today. Here's Dave.
And Doc, even the numbers could be on Jimmie Johnson's side today. If he clinches his 4th trophy by winning his 8th race of the season, it will be his 48th career victory. Vince Welch?
Well, if Mark Martin is to achieve victory today and challenge for this championship, his team needs to have a perfect day in the pits, earn some positions on pit lane, and maybe at the end of the day, he'll be in victory lane. Doc?
Thank you, guys. 43 drivers have visions of victory. 2 of those are chasing history. The points leader has never won the season finale. And the last 2 years, a driver starting 4th has won the race today. That would be Mark Martin starting outside of row 2. Folks, it is time to make history here in Homestead, so buckle up as we turn them loose for the final time in 2009. Jimmie Johnson pulling by 4 car lengths. If he leads a lap, the magic number for his championship will change. Mark Martin trying to get there.
Yeah, Mark Martin really tried to get there. He got a big start there, spun his tires, and trying to get up there to keep Jimmie Johnson from leading this lap, but he's not going to be able to do it. Jimmie's going to get those 5 points.
Jimmie comes down and leads getting those 5 points, and now he only has to finish 27th or better to be the champion.
Yeah, and that may sound easy, but these guys aren't geared up to finish 27th. They don't know how to do that. This is what they know how to do, is lead these races. But, man, we have some racing going on. Look back here. 2, 3, sometimes 4 wide already.
33 car. You see Clint Boyer up on the high side. His teammate in front of him, Kevin Harvick, 29 car. And there's Ryan Newman looking for his first win in 2009.
And right behind them, I saw Tony Stewart working the top of the racetrack right off the bat. That's unusual to see him doing that. He's usually right on the bottom.
We heard Rusty Wallace talk about it. They're down in turn 1 and 2 right now. There's a little more grip there. It's already getting some shade on that part of the track. But as they head down the back straightaway and go into 3, that's what gets the most sun, the slickest part of the racetrack.
Again, a reminder, it is a 400-mile, 267-lap race, and the final third of this race will be run in darkness. And here comes a 29 car. No surprise that Kevin Harvick is this quick, given how well he ran in happy hour.
Yeah, he had a huge run down the backstretch this last lap. I don't know if he's running the top or the bottom. I just looked back there on the backstretch. He was passing like 2 cars, it seemed like. He's got this baby rolling on the top.
Yeah, that's what you'll see. These guys that on the top, keeping that momentum, really looks like they have a lot more horsepower when they get to the straightaway. Shannon?
Been a very uneventful weekend for this 29 car this weekend. Crew chief told me it's been pretty good, but Kevin Harvick mentally has been in a great mood. And guys, that is 90% of the battle out there on the racetrack. He won the Truck Series championship this weekend, and he has a great car here today.
Same car that he finished 5th with at Texas. That was a 1.5-mile track, just like this one.
Yeah, when Harvick's happy, he's hard to beat.
Early laps here, 4 laps complete. Jimmie Johnson now has led all 4. Marcos Ambrose, the impressive sophomore season driver, in 2nd spot, and now Mark Martin is 3rd.
Yeah, see Mark hit one of those seams down there, and whenever you do that, it really loses the front end, and he went way up the racetrack in 3.
You heard Mark Martin say in countdown he's going to have to hang on to his car during the daylight. He thought his car would really come in and be very good once it got dark.
Yeah, and what he's saying, too, that he was going to be basically committed to the bottom of the racetrack, and he knows that he might have some parts of the race that are not so good because he's doing that. This might be the part of the race that's not going to be so good for him.
Kevin Harvick thought about going under him in turn 3 and backed off.
Yeah, and I saw Jimmie Johnson just in front of this for the first time take a lot higher line through turns 3 and 4. I don't think you can get a lot of laps out of your tires to see Kevin Harvick make that pass on Mark Martin.
Watch this. Right here is where Mark Martin went in the corner. trying to chase down Marcus Ambrose, running right on the bottom of the racetrack, and then all of a sudden, this thing, look at that, turned sideways.
Yeah, he crossed over that part to where the banking changes right there, and if you're not careful, if you get your right side tires right on that, right in the middle where you're trying to carry that speed,
29 trying to come inside here.
you can find yourself in trouble.
About one back now. One back.
Back up front, Jimmy Johnson is leading, but Marcus Ambrose is moving in. The margin now about 5 car lengths.
He's showing that qualifying run was not a fluke.
That and the run at Texas, you know, the last mile-and-a-half track that we were on, Marcus Ambrose had a great race car that day. They ran it out of fuel late in the race and didn't have the finish to show what they had done all night long there.
Only the first full year as a NASCAR Sprint Cup driver. Marcus Ambrose, very likable. He's from Tasmania, an island off the coast of Australia. His family has already gone back to Tasmania. Marcus said, I can't wait to get on the plane tomorrow and go see my wife and kids, but I got business to take care of.
Yeah, he'd like to be putting that trophy on that plane with him, too.
The car that
82
qualified,
cars falling back.
a couple of guys falling back. The 82 car, top of your screen there. That is Scott Speed, who qualified second, and he will possibly lose a couple more positions.
Yeah, and here comes a guy that, well, here comes a guy that we've been talking about, Marcus Ambrose, for the lead right here on the bottom of the racetrack now. I think he's going to have a hard time completing that pass down there on the bottom. We'll see as he gets this run.
Can't quite get it done as Jimmy holds him off. Talked about Tony Stewart moving up to the high side. He's using the high lane now to go by the 5 car of Mark Martin for position.
He did it right off the start, too. He didn't even try the bottom. Here comes Ambrose now working the top side of Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, he's going to take that lead right now. That's what I thought he would try to do the first time, but I think Jimmy kind of fooled him when he went high into 3 and opened the bottom the last time. But we're going to have a new leader at the line this time.
Marcus Ambrose, very deliberate and very, very careful.
That's awesome.
When he passed Jimmy Johnson in Bristol, Tennessee, folks, back in August, he did the same thing. He said, Jimmy who? As he went by. And now Marcus Ambrose, one of the most colorful characters in the garage area, is our leader here at Homestead.